Hello and welcome back to the channel. All of you new players out there are going to stick around for this video because I'm going to show you a build that scales very well in combat in groups and as well as solo PvP. And later on in the future, you'll be able to use it very well. So stick around and stay tuned. Enjoy the video. Thank you. Have a great day. So what we got here for you is a basic build here with, and I forgot to clip that, a basic build here with the carving sword. So this is just a really solid weapon here. Based around the, it's out of the sword tree. It's a two-handed sword. Super great weapon. Doesn't require a ton of spec to be effective. And I'm going to show you or teach you about why that is and teach you about the carving sword a little bit today. So let's get into it. So first thing first, if you're in PvP doing like corrupted dungeons or whatever, you're going to want to use the first Q. You're going to want to get this W as quick as you can, the exploding slash. That allows you to root enemies in place and does a lot of damage while it does it. And then this E ability has something that is very useful in Albion. And it's part of why this sword is so useful. You'll see this sword in a ton of group content in this game, and it's because it has a pierce ability. So the E is a pierce, and what it does was reduces your damage resistance. So basically, the armor effectiveness of the enemy that you're hitting based off of the amount of heroic charges that you have. So your Q ability puts heroic charges on you as you hit enemies. You see there, it increases your move speed by 9% and auto attack speed by 12%. That's an important one because auto attacks sometimes with this weapon are how you kill people, as you'll see in one of my video clips later. But very solid. Once you get 3 of those, you can drop his damage resistances by 60. Okay, let's say you can't quite get 3 stacks. You really need to do it. It's fine to hit your E earlier in the fight. It's not going to be like a Claymore where it's going to completely hamper your damage. It's going to drop you just a little bit, but you've got to be flexible enough with this weapon and pay attention to what's going on enough that you should be able to figure this out and not really have many issues. So very solid. I also use the first passive here, which inflicts a bleed every 4 auto attacks. You don't have to do that, but it's pretty solid. Let's get into the rest of the build. So first things first, we got the Fiend Cowl, which is just a really solid all-around good helmet that you can use for pretty much anything. Any builds, or really a lot of builds do real with it, and it has a pretty solid purge after 0.4 seconds. And then, of course, we just use this damage utility. You're going to see that pretty common throughout most of this build. Now, the next thing we're going to want to use is a Hellion Jacket. You can use a Mercenary Jacket if you're thrifty, but I really recommend the Hellion Jacket. It does a little bit better with the carving sword because the Mercenary Jacket requires you to be attacking the enemy the whole time, and this thing, you just hit it and you kind of go. You can leech off of whoever's around you, basically, any mobs or anything like that. So it's a lot more utility. Basically, it just does a lifesteal is what it does. And, of course, same thing, damage and healing passive. Lastly, we got the Soldier Boots. I use these on a ton of different builds, all around, all kinds of builds. I love these things. The healing that you get while sprinting is just nice, plus a little toughness buff helps. And that's pretty much the bare basics of the build. You can use this with a Thetford cape as well instead of the Avalonian cape. Although I think the Avalonian cape is better because it does damage like the Thetford cape, but also reduces the damage that enemies do by 15%. So if you got a build that's going to do a ton of damage right off the burst, you're going to hit them with this, and they're going to have reduced damage. It's going to help you win more fights. I also use healing potions just for their extra little healing utility, and pork omelets, but the food on this build really can be your personal preference, whatever you prefer. I like these, increase cast speed and cooldown rate, really nice, but you could use beef stew to increase your damage. Lots of different things you can use, lots of different utilities, but overall, the carving sword is one of those weapons that is just super solid in many situations, and it's really good for new players. As you're going to see, you don't require a lot of spec. And so our first fight, I'm going to show you just how good it is for new players because I make a ton of blunders in the 100 level corrupted dungeon. Still managed to get the knockout, so let's go and check that out. So this first fight is definitely a little on the embarrassing side. I did go into a 100 level corrupted just to kind of prove it's a beginner-friendly build, doing beginner-friendly content here. And you see there, I missed the first W, and I'm going, oh my gosh, I haven't even hit this guy yet. You know, your Ws do a lot of damage. You're going to want to be hitting those as much as you can. So I'm going to go ahead and pop my life stealing here, just trying to heal up a little bit after all that damage he did to me. I hit my E, which gives my good pierce. He's going to heal himself, and I think, okay, this fight's over. I go ahead and drop my healing. Miss another W, and this is where you having those stacks up. So you see, I'll pause it right here. The stacks of the sword stacks that I just completely lost what they're called. Anyways, that boosts your auto attack speed is what's allowing me to hit him so often here. Plus, I've got the increased mobility, so I'm just able to keep on him. Just keep on him and keep hitting him with auto attacks. The auto attacks save me in this one. That's what wins this fight. 100%. No doubts about it. Auto attacks and then a Q every once in a while. That's what got me here. That's what got me through that fight. Pretty basic fight, nothing really to it. Very good practice in these 100 level corrupted. You can see that he got me down pretty low. I was lower than that just a minute ago. And so nothing really to it. You can make a ton of mistakes and still do well with this build. You just have to pay attention. So let's jump into the next clip and I'll show you a stalker level where we get a good kill. All right, so now we're going to be taking on one of the most annoying builds here, the double-bladed quarterstaff. And I don't know if you caught that, but this guy's running like 4.3 masterpiece stuff. Like, this is ridiculous. This guy just goes in here and slaps people all day long. See there, we miss our W, and that just gives him the confidence he needs to charge in on us. We're going to keep going here. We're going to see what happens. He's going to just wail on us. Our Avalonian Cape catches him there, which means he's got damage reduced. And we're just going to get our heals off with our jacket here. Keep hitting him with the Qs. Keep on. Get out of that thing with an E. And there you go. We've pierced him. We locked him down with a W. And now it's just going to be dealing damage to him. He's on cooldown. So are we. But we have, once again, our sword stacks here. So now we're hitting him with these auto attacks and Qs, dealing decent damage and doing it very, very quickly. And we're just going to whittle him down here. Just perfect. And then we hit him with a W. Boom. There's a kill. 555,000 estimated profit. Very, very solid. Anybody can go into a corrupted dungeon and do this with the carving sword. Super, super good. And they weren't masterpiece. They were outstanding or something. But super, super, super good build. Very solid. Nothing to this. Very, very enjoyable build to play. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Be sure to subscribe if you did. Drop a like, drop a comment. Let me know how we did. Also, follow me over on Twitch where I stream occasionally, and the link of that, of course, will be in the description below. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Hope it showed you an awesome new player build. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.